Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of the show. Coming up in this week, Chris Jericho signs a contract extension. We have two wrestlers that are compared to this generation's Rock versus Stone Cold, and you'll never guess who the two superstars are. CM Punk may be done with AEW. We're going to talk about that. And there's definitely someone who is done with AEW, and he goes by the name of Ace Steel. That and so much more coming up. Sit back, grab a drink, relax. Another episode of the show starts now.
Howdy, howdy. Well, first of all, I want to kind of get over some in-ring stuff. Did you watch Raw and SmackDown?
I did.
What did you think of the Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley fight?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it was mayhem, as it should be, with, these two big dudes going at each other.
yeah. Big dudes beating the piss out of each other never gets old to me. So I think it was one of the. It would have been the best part of the night if JBL wasn't there. But we'll get to that. Um, we got the OC and Alpha Academy. Okay. Wasn't
Yeah, I
really.
think that match was just kind of there.
Yeah.
It didn't do too much for me. I do like the Good Brothers. I do like the Alpha Academy,
Yeah,
but
I thought Luke Gallows looked really good.
yeah, yeah, but it was just one of those matches that was just there.
Yeah. They're a really good tag team. Like you can tell that they work well together. Seth Rollins promo, meh. Just and the whole Ali Mustafa feud, just whatever.
Your boy Mustafa came back.
Mustafa, yeah. It's kind of interesting how we were talking about him, and now he's getting pushed.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with us. I think it has to do with
Oh, it has
that little
everything to
show.
do with us. You fucking
I
kidding
think
me?
it has to do with that little show that's coming up
You, you mean
soon.
to tell me the WWE writers aren't glued every Monday for our new episodes?
at 8:45 a.m.
Oh,
Central
we have a
Standard
set
Time.
time. I didn't know
I do,
that. Okay.
but um, well, 8:45 or 9 depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. Sometimes 9:45. So I guess there's not a set schedule.
Okay. So
I'm kind of
Mondays. Can we go back to
Monday
that?
mornings.
There we go.
Monday morning. Um, but yeah, I think it's more so the little thing that's around the corner, 2 weeks away. They're building the they got the crown jewel. I'm trying to think of a way to say this without getting canceled.
How are you gonna get canceled?
Well, they have the crown jewel pay-per-view coming up
Yes.
in Saudi Arabia, and Mustafa Ali is a crown jewel type
Oh,
of wrestler.
so you're saying because he's of Arabic descent
Yes,
that it's gonna look
exactly.
better that he's featured uh, for Crown Jewel?
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Um,
see that. It's
they
kind of like a
also,
hometown advantage type thing.
yeah.
Like how they have
I mean,
Dolph Ziggler come out because I think weren't they in Cincinnati or something? No, they were in Oklahoma. Never mind.
yeah, the week before they were in Cincinnati.
Right. Well, like when they're in Cleveland and stuff, they have the Miz and Dolph Ziggler.
Or
I think they were
maybe
in
they were in
Cincinnati for
Cincinnati for
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah. because I remember Logan Paul saying, "So great to be back in
Ugh,
Ohio."
ugh,
So maybe that's where he got that from.
whatever.
Um, but there's the there's a wrestler. He's now named Mansoor, but he used to go by Mansoor. Every year when they did that Saudi show, he would get he would start getting a push, and he'd have his little Saudi match.
Mm,
So yes, that is that is exactly what's happening.
okay, well, whatever. I don't care.
Just like Brock Lesnar conveniently coming back for a match because he's
Yeah,
getting that Saudi money.
of course. Good for him. Um, Damage Control, Bianca Belair, and Candice LeRae. I personally skipped it. So, what'd you think?
Um, I'm trying to. I guess I guess that tells you everything about it. I don't even remember it.
Yeah, there you go. Baron Corbin and JBL. JBL easily the best thing of the evening. In fact, JBL was the best thing of both Raw and SmackDown. So he was the best thing this week. My favorite line of his is when he was shitting on Oklahoma. He told them to put their fat little pudgy hands together. Thought that was great. Um, Baron Corbin's outfit looks stupid. He doesn't look any different. He doesn't. He does the fall away slam. That's like the only difference uh, JBL has made. So whatever.
Yeah, JBL. He cut a great promo. Um, my main concern with the whole thing is he cut this great promo. He got over, but I feel like maybe they're wasting this all on the talent that he's pushing,
Oh sure.
Baron Corbin. I don't know if he's going to be able to get Baron Corbin over to the level of where he wants him to get. Like even in the promo, he was saying like, "This is the greatest trade. You lost Rey Mysterio and you got like the biggest superstar, future superstar. He's going to be a world champion." So they said all that stuff, and you know, I don't know if Baron Corbin can get to that level. Now he's a great heel. He's a great worker. Um, my favorite gimmick of Baron Corbin was the bum ass Corbin,
Mm.
not the McAfee one, when he was like broke.
Okay.
That
Um, I
was his.
I liked him in NXT. So, but I don't like him now. And you're right. He's not going to get over. So it doesn't matter. AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio. I'm tired of seeing them. I'm just tired of seeing them.
Yeah, that set up the match for Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
AJ Styles, he
got surprised.
Dominic, he should have won. So there you go.
Yeah. The Miz and Dexter Lumis. I wish they just shit or get off the pot. I think I've said that before. I just do something.
Yeah, they need to finalize this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
But what we
Um,
really need is an explanation of some sort.
yeah, it'd be great.
They've come close to it, or I wouldn't say they've come close to it, but they've now been teasing it at least. Like, you have Johnny Gargano saying each week, you just have to, apologize for what you did.
Yeah,
So
whatever.
at least they're teasing that there is an explanation. But we need to get that explanation. This
Uh,
can't just keep going with no explanation as why this is going.
it's gonna be stupid. Um, Elias
It can
returns.
be, but it needs to be something.
Okay, I guess, but it's just gonna be a letdown. It's gonna be one of those things like I've been sorta kind of not really semi interested in this for this. It's it's gonna be like the gobbledygooker.
You know, yeah. Oh, I just I don't even have high expectations. I just want it to make sense.
Okay.
Like, just make sense. And like, it can be, it could be as simple as, he made the Marine Six, and I'm a fan of the Marine Six, and I thought it was really connected during the
Maurice is
movie.
my
So
sister.
yeah,
You, you've
even
been
that.
you've been fucking
But
my sister, and I don't like that.
only I.
Because we're from Kentucky.
Yeah, like just something. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. I wish they would just do something. Yeah. Um, Elias came back, which would have been awesome. Maybe I don't know, but then Riddle came out, which it wouldn't be the first time. Um, so I skipped it. any,
I see what you
any,
did there.
yeah, I know, right? Any thoughts? Any thoughts on the Elias thing?
No,
Okay.
it's the exact same thing he used to do. So
Yeah. Right. Which is interesting because he looks he's got a good body. Like he looks like a muscle guy. So I don't understand why they just want him standing.
it's okay.
In,
You could say it.
what?
He's got a good physique, a good body.
Yeah, I
You
just
like
said
stopped
that.
yourself. You stopped yourself.
Did I?
You're like, he's got a good butt. Well,
Oh.
he's got the muscles.
Okay, fair enough. He's sexy, and then
He's got those baby blue eyes, and
yeah,
then it's like,
he's got
whoa,
those
what are you
veins
doing?
pulsating,
he's got the, he's got that big bulge.
and the way the sweat just drips down. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going. Where the fuck were we going? No,
Oh,
just the way he
he's got a
looks.
good look, but
Yeah,
he's just doing nothing new.
right. He's not wrestling, which is what you're supposed to do. Um, I actually thought the Rollins and Riddle match was actually okay. I think
Um,
I think as far as
go
the
ahead.
like the actual wrestling, it was probably the best in ring of the night. But I'm so sick and tired of seeing Riddle and Rollins wrestle. I just don't want to ever see it again. And I don't understand. They just fought in the fight pit. That was supposed to be the blow off match. Why are you doing like like a match like right after the fight pit? It makes no sense to me. But thank God for JBL.
And because of what you said, that's kind of what I didn't even watch the the main event segment. Because we just saw them at the Pipe Pit. We've seen them so many times. I was over it, so I didn't even
Yeah.
watch it.
And there you go. That's Raw. And
And I knew Seth Rollins wasn't losing the title that he just won,
right,
so
right.
there was that too.
So
But Triple H had that thing in the news, so it was kind of a substitute teacher kind of Raw anyway. So
right. Real quick, SmackDown. We got Sheamus and Sikoa Joe starting off the evening. Easily the best match of the night, which we'll find out was a very low bar. Um, I wish Butch would leave that fucking mouthpiece out in the locker room for once. I don't understand. He's not. I just don't get it. He looks stupid. The match was really good. The finish was really awkward. That Uranagi just kind of came out of nowhere and it was just lazy and slow.
okay,
All right.
I don't really have anything to add there.
Uh, then we had Bray Wyatt's backstage promo. He said some bullshit alluding to the Wyatt Six. I didn't understand a goddamn word he said because they played his shitty ass theme music over it. So and it was way too loud. So I don't know. It probably was a good promo. It's just they had his theme song playing over it. So they must be really happy with it. Which I will say, like we were talking about it offline. Um, it starts off really good, but then they sing, and it's just the vocals kind of messed up.
Yeah, I'm starting to come around on his theme. Um, the promo, kind of what the promo was he started by just saying he's finishing what he didn't get to finish last week. Um, and then yeah, I don't know exactly what he was saying, but he was basically alluding to uh,
He's a follower.
he's
He's going with the circle and
yeah, he's not in control anymore.
right.
Kind of alluding to this masked individual is now controlling him.
Oh,
Kind of like a alter ego type thing. I think is what's happening.
see, I took it as like he's part of like a group now. It's not just him. Because he's part of the circle. I don't
Oh,
know.
the White Six is the circle.
Yeah.
Well, that would make sense. And there is a Wyatt Six. We got our first preview of the Wyatt Six a little bit later.
Yeah, and I actually I missed that. I think. Um, but after Bray Wyatt's promo, anything else did you want to say?
Um, no, I think I said it all. He's coming
All right.
around on his music. I'm excited to see where this whole thing is going.
Well,
And
well, eventually he has to wrestle. Him doing little spooky promos is just because the last thing we saw of him in the ring was the Fiend. So we need to watch the taste out of that out of our mouths.
well, you got to be patient. We still got to introduce these six members before we even get in the ring. So we got a little bit of a ride ahead of us.
All right.
I
Uh,
think possibly. I almost want to say we get there by Royal Rumble, because so WWE is reporting, or it's been reported that WWE is like getting rid of the gimmick pay-per-views.
okay.
So I don't think there's going to be a pay-per-view after Survivor Series War Games. I
Uh,
don't think we get another pay-per-view until Royal Rumble, because they used to have day one, but that's being canceled.
well, that's
So I
good.
don't think
Fewer
we
pay
get
per
another
views is
pay-per-view
good.
until Royal Rumble.
I'm okay with that.
So
If they build up, because that gives them plenty of time to build up to something good. Maybe.
yeah, and it does. But that being said, I don't think we get with that. We probably don't get Wyatt in the ring until at least Royal Rumble. So yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. So after Wyatt, we got Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, which I skipped. Um, throughout parts of the skipping, I saw Sonya try to do her Raven slash Mick Foley impression with the smiling bullshit. Um, I saw a sequence where she jumped on Sonya Deville and did the worst little slap punches I've ever fucking seen in my life. And yeah, uh, nothing they do will make me ever believe that she's Mick Foley. So yeah, fuck that shit. If I could give it a rating, I would take a shit in a bag of chips, and I would present it to Liv Morgan.
Golly. There's a lot of the people, the experts, and I put that in quotes, of course. They praised this segment. Um, I was I didn't get to watch this segment, I was thinking of going back and watch it, but I didn't.
She's this
They're
little
developing
tiny
a character.
no, she's this little tiny Barbie doll that one she's trying to jock Alexa Bliss's little Harley Quinn gimmick. She can't wrestle. She's slow. She's awkward. Her little punches aren't believable. When she can't lift a bat in a fucking Extreme Rules match, she swings for asses, and she's not believable at all. There's nothing about her little wicked little smile and her little yeah, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. Ha! I love it. No, she's playing a character. It's not believable. Can you see her going through a hell in the cell with teeth going through her nose and smiling the way Mick Foley did?
I don't think we're going that far with it.
That come on.
She's just,
If this
I
was
don't
the
know. She
Attitude
just
Era,
likes pain.
no, it's bullshit.
Like
It's
she's
bullshit.
not. She's not like. She's not anywhere near Mick Foley. She just likes pain,
But they're trying to
allegedly.
do that. She's with the chairs and the tables and the whatever. We're spending way too much time on this bitch. Fuck her.
There we
Braun
go.
Strowman and
Golly, she. What she do to you?
she, she
Anyway, go ahead.
she
Braun
got on my
Strowman.
television. Braun Strowman and Osmos, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, Moss,
Omos, thank you.
but
That was dumb.
or some people call him almost.
MVP
Almost.
did a good little presentation. I thought it was the overall thing was stupid. I'm not sure if I'm
No, no,
interested.
no. You.
Oh
This is your 6-star classic match. You better love every
no,
second of it.
no, because the greatest wrestler of all time, the great Khali, is not going to be present. Maybe if you guest refereed.
Mm. So it can only be the great Khali's, not any other
Well, I mean, he's the bar.
7 foot lumbering bad wrestling. No one else. Only the great Khali.
Well, I don't want to see Braun Strowman's nipple rings.
He doesn't wrestle with him.
We'll
I don't
see.
think.
I don't know. The last couple times I saw him, his nipples, they had rings on them. Anyway, uh, go ahead. You were going to
It's
say
not
about his
important.
nipples?
It's not important.
All right. We had the women's tag team match: Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi, and versus Damage Control. I skipped it because I didn't want to hear Noodle Arm Rodriguez being put over about how strong she is, and basically see the Liv Morgan rating.
um, I wasn't too invested in this match. What I did like, I'm sorry, what I didn't like, and what I don't like. Shotzi's entrance music, and this is the only thing I want to like harp on, just real quick. Shotzi's entrance music. It sounds like they recorded the audio or they recorded the vocals and then they found the audio and put it on the track, but it doesn't match up at all.
Okay.
Like you got these people yelling "Welcome to the ball pit," whatever they're saying, and the music is hitting, but they don't match in any way.
Hmm.
It just sounds weird.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever listened to her theme song in my life, so I'll listen to it later and see kind of see what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
it's just weird. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, the vocals, or maybe that's just the genre, because
Sure.
Megadeth, they just scream, and that's what kind of what they're going for. But
Okay.
they'll make me start dropping some Megadeth artists on you.
Yeah. What's your favorite Megadeth song?
So Rey Mysterio and Ludwig Kaiser's next.
So, before we get into the actual match, was it on Raw? Mysterio went to Hunter because he's afraid of his son. And he wanted to quit instead of whooping his son's ass. So, Hunter made a deal with him to go to SmackDown to be in a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental title, which he won. Cuts to a backstage, or cuts to last night's SmackDown. It's his first real official appearance because the last time he was there to quit. He runs into Ludwig Kaiser and the Giovanni Ribisi guy, which ultimately Mysterio.
Giovanni Vinci.
Thank you.
I had to think about that a second.
Mysterio ultimately challenged one of them to a match because they stuck up for their boy Gunther. It ended up being Kaiser. I really like Kaiser. I like the German thing. There's not enough Germans, especially the bad ones. I ended up skipping it after the whole Eddie shit. Like every time Ray does something, they got to do like this big little Eddie exploitation, and I don't know. It's getting old for me.
Yeah, I did like the ring attire that Ray had. It was an homage to Macho Man.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he had it was Macho Man inspired gear.
Okay. Yeah.
But that was just a little thing.
Yeah. Um, Logan Paul. I skipped it because fuck Logan Paul. Jey Uso is a legitimate star. I think he could be like bigger than Roman Reigns. Just the way he carries himself, especially as a heel. I like his look. I like Jimmy's look too, but I think Jey looks a little bit looks like he has more of an edge to him. I love like the red shoes. I think we've talked about this. Everything he does it has just been great. He looks like a legitimate badass. And they fucking wasted
That's
him.
true.
They wasted him for fucking Logan Paul.
Isn't him getting knocked out?
With one punch. Not
Guys,
even
they're
that.
selling.
Not even that.
That's what they're selling.
No, not even that. Jey Uso beat the fuck out of him. Logan Paul gets up, hits him with one punch, puts his hat on, and doesn't even sell anything. This motherfucker is supposed to be a lifelong wrestling fan. Like this is what we have to look forward to at Crown Jewel. Fuck that shit. I'm boycotting that match, man. I have absolutely no interest in seeing Logan Paul and fucking Roman Reigns. And I gotta ask, like, where is this great like Triple H era? Like when's the Vince McMahon stink supposed to be gone? Because all I'm seeing is fucking Vince McMahon 2 goddamn O. It really
Well,
pisses me off. No, fuck it. Jey Uso, he really could be like the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. He really could. And the fact that they fucking wasted him for Logan Paul. Logan goddamn Paul. With his little, no one expects me to step into the ring with the goat and actually win. But what happens if I do? Fuck you. Fuck you. I hope you die. I hope you burn in hell. I'm done.
well, here's the thing. Number one, they didn't run anything. They're selling a match between Roman and Paul. Jay was just a
And they
bystander to that.
sacrificed Jay.
No one's gonna remember that in a year. Number
I
two,
will.
or maybe, of course you will. Number two, number two. I was watching. Oh, I forgot where I saw this. So you had, I was watching a non-wrestling fan, and they compared Logan Paul to The Rock. They said, "This is your next. This could be your next, like, guy, like The Rock, st- The Rock, Hogan, Stone, Stone Cold. Logan Paul could be the next guy that at that level."
So, what does that say about the wrestling, the professional wrestling, where you say The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, those guys they put in like years of wrestling training to get to the level that they ultimately got to. Logan Paul, what he he boxed one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time to a draw. He hasn't wrestled extensively. He's not even very good. His promos suck. He's awkward
It
looking.
wasn't even to a draw. It was an exhibition. There was no score.
That's even worse. So he probably
I
lost.
don't even know why people are bringing up like I think I think it's more so the fact that he didn't get knocked out. But there was no score because it was an exhibition match.
Well, he's not going to get
So
knocked out by Floyd
there was no
Mayweather. That's
winner.
not his. That's not his game. Floyd Mayweather is more than happy to just beat the fuck out of you and embarrass you for however many rounds. I don't know.
Floyd Mayweather
Fuck Logan Paul.
Mayweather's just about that payday.
I hope he gets the same type of helicopter that Kobe had.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Anyway, maybe that's our
anyway,
maybe that's our thing.
gotcha.
Anyway, it seems like that happens more so than often. We just have to anyway ourselves out to the next segment.
Yeah.
Um,
So you want to start with the AEW stuff?
well, just real quick
Yep.
before, well, since we were talking about SmackDown,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
did get our first preview or our first guest character of the
Oh,
Wyatt
right. Right.
Six. Um, I don't even know how to describe what we saw. So later on in SmackDown, there was a segment where we got the masked character again. He comes on the screen, um, and it's like a old TV flickering type effect going on the screen. And then it pans down. I don't have written down what was said. This is not important. What was important is the character that we saw. It pans down and it shows the character. He has a black cowboy hat with barbed wire around it, and he has like a braided goatee. Some people think he was in a mask. It was kind of hard to tell if he was in a mask or not because it was a dark scene.
Mm-hmm.
But the camera pans down. It shows the cowboy hat with the barbed wire on it. Shows the very distinct braided goatee, and then the character says, "Howdy," and that's the way it went off, and that was the end of the scene. Um, there was also a QR code that was in that segment.
yeah.
Um, the QR code took you to a screenshot of a um, like a mental patient page, like a it's just like a doctor's note type thing, and it had a lot of X's out on it, of course, blocking
Mm-hmm.
out information. But at the top it said Bray Wyatt, and then talking about how he had split personalities. At the top of that, it has a it had a patient ID, which was supposed to be Bray Wyatt's patient ID, which was just long enough to be a phone number. So if you called that phone number,
Jesus.
yeah. So if you called the phone number, you got a message that was playing part of a song. I forget the song name. Um, yeah, that 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 that's what it was.
Okay.
But that was the whole segment. So yeah, we got one and partially introduced to one of the characters
You don't
who
think
said
that they
howdy,
would do something stupid like the Mick Foley Faces of Foley shit, do you?
where he's all the characters.
Yeah.
No, the cretins of the internet think that they have figured out that this is some guy who used to be in ROH.
Okay.
Um, so there's two guys, Vincent. I don't know, I'm looking it up real quick.
Okay.
So yeah, there's two guys. There's Vincent and what's the other guy's name? Dutch and Vincent.
Hmm.
They were in ROH. They were part of a group called the Righteous. They definitely looked the part of like Bray Wyatt, and people think that it was one of those two guys.
Man, I hope they work well with Colin.
He's not in. That's what I try to tell you. He is not in.
Well, I just the way things have been going since Triple H has taken over
Wow, you
my
jumped all the way back there.
yeah, my expectations have just been well, just with where this ultimately goes. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I'm not expecting the greatest thing ever. Like I don't want to. I want to be like I really like Bray Wyatt, and I like the fact that this is so like intricate and stuff. But like the payoff, man, the payoff is just kind of like the with the Miz and Lumis.
Well, we haven't got a payoff yet.
Exactly. It was just I don't know. I just I can't help but have this like sinking feeling that just it's just gonna be awful. But I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
I think we're in for quite the ride, and I am here to enjoy it.
are you getting paid? How much are they paying
Who? No, I'm not getting paid
you?
because I want to enjoy what I want to enjoy this story.
Yes.
No, I just want to enjoy the story.
Okay.
I think Bray Wyatt is one of the best minds that we've had in wrestling in a while,
Are you serious?
and yeah,
Did
modern
you see?
day.
Did you see the Fiend shit?
I
The
like the
fire.
Fiend shit.
The really? You like the
Not only
red?
did I like the
You like
Fiend
the
shit,
red filter?
no, I didn't like the red filter, but everything
You
else about
you
it.
like you like the little mandible claw with Seth Rollins puking up green slime? Do you like Randy Orton wrestling Alexa Bliss?
Yes,
You like that? You like the black sludge? Did you
yes.
like Did you like when
The
he
black
wrestled
goo.
Randy? Did you like when he wrestled Randy Orton, and then Alexa Bliss just came out of the Jack in the Box for absolutely no goddamn reason and blood black sludge, and then the Fiend walked right into the most basic look, the worst RKO. Like think about it. Remember the RKO where Seth Rollins did the curb stomp, and then he did the RKO from that. But no,
Yeah.
the Fiend just turns around and into this basic bitch RKO, and that was it. You like that?
You're only mentioning the lowlights. What about the
Because they all.
highlights? What about him get? What about that segment getting the only holy shit chant of the night?
I don't care about the holy shit chance.
What about him being the top selling merchandise seller in the WWE?
Is that true?
What about he was before he got fired?
Was he really?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that. That doesn't. I mean, people will pay to fucking watch Asian women shit on a glass table. So I mean,
Please stop bringing that up. I'm trying to forget about that, and you keep bringing it up.
I mean, people will pay for anything. But at the end of the day, the in ring product, which is what it's all
And
about.
still don't. I still don't know how you find this out. Like, how do you just casually come across this? And maybe not even casually. There's so many questions.
Well, let's just move past it. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. I will say that. I hope I'm dead wrong, and I hope I'm just being cynical. But anyway,
Let's talk about some news, as that's in order.
that is in order. Well, right off the bat, we got the Hangman, Adam Page, was hospitalized after a scary-looking bump in the ring. He took a awkward clothesline. Well, it wasn't the clothesline wasn't awkward. Just with the backflip he did was awkward. Instead of like doing a full backflip, he landed on the back of his head. Um, he was later diagnosed with diagnosed
Concussion.
with a thank you, um, and said he was eating paninis or some shit, and just kind of says all you need to know about Adam Page.
Yeah. So, what the what the thought is, or what the reports have said, is it wasn't the backflip. Like before that, he was already out, and then he just landed the way he landed. So it was the actual clothesline that
Really?
did it for him. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. It's just the way it looked to me. Everything looked. I mean, well, I don't. I guess it doesn't really fucking matter what I saw. I don't. I'm not a wrestler.
But yeah, that's what the conventional, or I'm sorry, not the conventional, but that's what the dirt sheets are saying is he
Yeah.
was out at the when the clothesline hit him. That's when he got knocked out, and then he did the flip and landed. So the awkward landing was he was already done at that point anyway.
No. Well,
Um,
either way, he's probably out for a minute.
yeah, and yeah, it's just that he was diagnosed as having a concussion. Um, of course, the wrestling community took this and ran with it, all different types of directions. Um, you have you have some people saying AEW is not a safe place to work because of this injury. Um, Now, I preface this by saying these are all WWE shills, so you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Like Ariel
But you
Helwani.
have not him yet.
Okay.
I'm sure. I'm sure he would. I'm sure he'll throw his name in there at some point.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you have people. They're saying, "Oh, um, with they were doing high impact moves all match. Of course, someone was gonna get hurt. That was Disco Inferno.
Well, it was kind of to be fair, it was a shocker that they didn't get hurt prior to that. I will say, Disco might have a point there.
Well, my point, or my counter argument to his point, is first of all, it's not ballet. Number one, yes, she can be safe, but you're gonna you need to have some high impact moves. That's number one. Number two, it wasn't the high impact move that injured Hangman. And
Right,
three,
that's what I'm saying. It's some of the quote unquote high impact moves that they were doing, especially like the outside the ring stuff. Um, it's just if anything was going to cause a legitimate injury, you would have thought it would have been that.
yeah, yeah. Number three, this was also a part of AEW just not having a surprise surprise. AEW didn't have a good good week. um,
No.
with this whole being safe thing. Did you happen to see the thing that circulated with Athena
No.
Ember Moon?
I saw uh, there was a couple shows that I listened to. They were mentioned it, but uh, I didn't watch any of them.
So yeah, so just real quick, because I don't think there deserves too much attention. But what happened was they were doing AEW Dark. Okay, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
dark match. She's wrestling a jobber. Um, I don't know. The spot kind of messed up, so they kind of had to ad lib, and the ad lib was just like Athena throwing stiff ass elbows to a point where it looked like she knocked the girl out,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's pretty much it. So you have that on the same week where Hangman gets her off of a clothesline.
Right.
So then you have people trying to create a narrative that AEW is not a safe place to work.
Well,
Um,
I don't know about the Athena thing. Is that Ember Moon?
yeah,
Okay. I don't know about that, but with the Page Moxley thing, I think that was just a case of shit happens. I don't think I don't think
yeah,
that
it's
either one of them
definitely
did anything wrong. I think um, if anything, it's just like the evolution of like they went into the backflip. Like, do you have to do a backflip with a clothesline? Like, I don't remember like that always being the case.
no. He was just trying to sell it because it was a King Kong lariat.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
um, yeah, he was just trying to sell it, but it's definitely. I think it was just bad luck that it
Yeah,
happened.
it
Um,
just shit happens. I don't think it was either one's fault. I
if I
just
want
think
to, now I even argued on Twitter. I went back and forth with one of those people who were like, "Is AEW a bad place to work?" I posted, and I don't know if you remember this because you weren't, but there was two big things that happened in AEW that was like universally shit on. Number one, they had a exploding barbed wire death match between Eddie Kingston and Kenny Omega.
as well as they should.
The ending of the match was supposed to be where everything like exploded, and I shit you not, at the end of the match, this is on a pay-per-view, by the way. At the end of the match, the counter counts down, and then the thing that was supposed, like the ring was supposed to explode. and I shit you not, there's just like sparklers in the in the in each corner of the ring. There's just like sparklers, and then the sparklers went off, and then you have Eddie Kingston, who's the consummate professional, sitting there trying to sell the sparklers going off. So number one, that was number one example I sent when he's talking about is AEW a safe place because
So
that's
wait,
a that's a prime
because they use
example.
sparklers instead of what C4. That's an example of it being a safe place.
Yeah, because they use sparklers. They got shit on for being overly safe, overly cautious.
Uh huh.
Like
Oh,
don't
okay.
don't sell us that this is a death match,
Gotcha.
exploding
Okay.
barbed wire death match, and then not deliver.
Well, I mean, how was it promoted? Was it promoted seriously?
Yeah,
Well, then there you go.
um,
If
yeah,
Eddie
it
Kingston
was
would have done
promoted.
promos and with a clown nose on it, then that would have made sense.
Well, it was definitely a botch, but
Oh.
you want to talk at them. You want to talk, and even Tony said it was a botch. There was supposed to be more explosive pyro that goes off,
Well.
um, but it was just sparklers. So that was number one. Number two was going back to Blood and Guts. Last year, Chris Jericho got thrown off the top of the cage, and they messed up the camera angle. So he gets thrown off the top of the cage onto uh, like the most comfortable mattress you can find on the market. Like it was just the most ridiculous thing that you see him fall right on this mattress
Right.
because they messed the camera angle up. So yeah, I went back and forth because I sent these two examples to the person. It's like, yeah, they're not safe at all. Yeah, they were botches, but they were also shit on because for both of those because
Hmm.
you know, oh, if this is supposed to be like you're selling us that this is going to happen, and then you're overly protecting the people. That's what people were saying when those two moments happened.
Gotcha.
So you can't be safe and not safe at the same time. Like,
Well, I don't. I just think that the morale and the structure is chaotic. I don't think that there's an issue with the actual in ring stuff. The in ring stuff is just jumbled and glued together with no cohesive narrative. Aside from that, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't think it'd be any less safe to work than WWE because
yeah,
they're all
and
from
let's
WWE.
true, and let's not forget the fact that um this is wrestling. This is not like I don't know. It's it's supposed to be semi-physical.
Right.
So
It's supposed to be real.
and people get hurt. Like
Right.
I'm not saying I'm not saying they have to be overly like unsafe or anything. I'm just saying people get hurt. It's wrestling.
Right.
So it happens.
Well,
If you don't want anybody to get hurt, then go play or start a podcast, and then you never have to like contact get contacted with. But don't try to compete with our podcast, of course, and hit
of
the like
course.
button if you're listening.
Now we talked about Adam Page getting hurt in the ring, and a while back we talked about the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega hurting and getting hurt with Ace Steel and CM Punk backstage after that stupid media scrum. Um, it seems like the first hammer has dropped as a result of it. They released Ace Steel, which apparently apparently he thought he was okay. Like, he thought he was going to come back. which which
Like,
is
of
just
course you were
amazing
getting
to me.
released.
Right.
Like, I think it was all understood, probably, except for
Right.
everybody but him, that the only, like, one of the for sure people getting let go of in this was him.
Right, because like every story is he's the one that went crazy. Um,
Yeah.
but apparently they're also in discussion with CM Punk about buying his contract out. Um, I think like at this point that there's no realistic way he can come back, just with the locker room and all the shit he said, um, which is it's kind of unfortunate that he I think I've said this before, but he could have been one of the biggest. He could have been on the Mount Rushmore of 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 wrestling superstars, megastars, and just the last thing we'll remember him for, unless he goes back to the WWE, is his failure in AEW. Because I make no mistake, this run was a failure.
It for sure was a failure. Now, I think he can come back from this. I think the one thing that
Not
is going for
AEW.
him, yeah, I do think he can come back. I think the one thing that's going for him is that he's injured right now,
Mm-hmm.
so he's not going to be back for 6 months, 8 months, as it is. So in 8 months, is everybody still going to be as heated as they were? You
Well,
know, so maybe there's time to smooth that over.
they're allegedly doing legal proceedings. Those take years. So I think yes. I think the fact that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega they hired all their friends to begin with. Like the majority of the locker room is not going to want CM Punk around. It's just the reality of the situation. It's going to be politics, and I think Tony has taken a side. Like that's kind of the
Well,
word on the street. I mean, even
yeah,
Dave Meltzer, he said like they're talking about buying out his contract. They're in discussion because he just there's no way that he can after all the shit he said about the entire locker room, the way he handled himself with the company, the way he publicly presented himself in AEW. There's just no way he can come back.
of course, that's what Melty says. I disagree with him. I think he can come back. Um, do I think he will come back? That's another story, but I think he can. Um, I think, yeah, Tony Khan did take his side, or he took the elite side. But if we look at the grand scheme of things of everything that happened, I think he needed to take the elite side because it was more so CM Punk's doing. And, the elite didn't come out and start shitting on the whole company
But
and then go back and start biting people.
the elite did confront. They instigated the confrontation. They could have waited till things kind of cooled down a little bit, till cooler heads prevailed. Because I assume that when they approached him that evening, they weren't they weren't necessarily chipper, and I'm sure emotions were
True.
pretty fresh. So I mean, they did instigate the confrontation. Now I understand what you're saying as far as CM Punk shitting on him, but all he did was say words.
True. But if we want to go even further with this,
Mm-hmm.
one happened in front of people, one happened behind the scenes,
Sure.
allegedly. And, we shouldn't really even know about it. So publicly, the elite have done nothing.
Well,
This is
actually,
all
no, because
backstage hearsay.
the contention is that the elite were publicly shitting on him for the Colt Cabana stuff.
But where? No one, I
on
never
on,
saw,
on his interview on
like,
interviews.
I know, but where? What interview? No one's ever found that.
We we talked about it.
I know, but I'm saying we talked about it, but there's not been any
Check
hardcore evidence.
check our old logs.
I want to like he mentioned we talked about it. He mentioned that there were, interviews that they did where they said this stuff, but you can't pinpoint the actual interview that had happened. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying
You can't
CM
say,
Punk's just
"Oh,
made it up?
I'm not saying he made it up. I'm just saying where is it?" Like, like for instance, when you say Omos and Braun Strowman are going to be wrestling at Crown Jewels, and I said that a month ago, we can go back a month into the Extreme Rules review and pull out the specific audio of me saying that. Where's that with the Bucks? Where is the specific audio of them saying this happened? We don't have it. And I don't even mean like we, as in me and you. I'm talking about like, the dirt sheets who work on getting that kind of stuff. Why hasn't that been leaked yet?
I don't know if it's been leaked or not. To be honest with you,
I haven't seen it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it.
you know what? Let me
So,
make a note to research.
yes, we're going to break it on this show next week. There you go. Next week, we will break the exact interview that CM Punk said, or that the Bucks said this stuff about CM Punk.
There we go.
And you're going to find it.
We'll see. Um,
Boy, is that a teaser for next week?
right. Do you want to talk about this Ariel Helwani interview with Tony Khan? I think it was what was it last week?
Yeah, let's talk about Ariel, Mr. Helwani himself.
Did you listen to the interview?
I did not listen to the interview itself.
Okay.
What I got wind of was the post interview stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he went on his MMA Hour podcast, and
Right.
I guess he got asked a question about the Tony Khan interview,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe he didn't get asked the question. Um, what was shared was like just a clip of what he said. Um, he basically said that it was one of the most frustrating interviews that he's ever done in his career because Tony Khan didn't answer anything. And he said, I get it. You're coming on here to plug your shit. Um, I understand the game, but
And he did let him.
yeah,
Like he even went along with it. Like I did listen to snippets of it.
yeah. But then you're like dancing around everything I'm asking.
Everything.
Now, of course he's gonna dance around it. What are we expecting here? So you're asking him stuff that no one else has gotten. Oh, when can we expect the elite back? Why am I going to tell you over, someone else? Oh, how long is CM Punk's going to be gone? How did you feel about the CM Punk and elite stuff? Oh, yeah, don't worry about the whole legal thing that you're in right now. We don't care about that. Just answer my questions.
Well,
Like, what is he asking?
there was one question he said he was like, well, is CM Punk coming back? Which is like, okay, obviously um he can't answer that. But I mean, he was asking about his mindset, and then he asked about Cody Rhodes. Then he asked about Soraya, all of which he just would not comment on. It wasn't just the CM Punk stuff. Yeah, yeah, he went into that, and obviously he can't discuss that. But like, there's more shit, and it's just like everything. Ariel asked him, like it was just no comment. I don't have a comment. You can ask, but I don't have a comment. I don't want to comment on stuff about things with people. So I mean, like, why the fuck are you gonna?
What
Why are
does
you
that
gonna?
even mean?
I don't know. That's what he said.
Like, why are you even here if you don't want to comment on
That's the
things?
point, and that was Ariel Helwani's point. And again, like, yeah, the Punk stuff, sure, don't say that. But he wouldn't fucking say if Soraya was gonna wrestle. Like, why is she there then? Cody Rhodes debuting in WWE. He asked like, "Hey, how'd you feel about seeing Cody Rhodes, um, you know, go full circle from WWE to AEW to back to WWE?" Oh, it doesn't serve me to comment on that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just what do you? Then why did you schedule the interview? If
You
you
know, that's the question. Why was he even there? What did he? I was initially on Tony Khan's side because, like, who the hell does this guy think he is to demand that you answer my questions?
right,
But and I thought it was, just, and again, I didn't hear the whole thing, so you
yeah.
know,
And he
shame
he
on
did
me.
ask he did
But
ask the stupid question like is Punk coming back or when's he coming back? And yeah, that's kind of a silly question. Obviously he's not going to answer that. But to not say whether or not Paige is going to wrestle, like what the fuck? You don't have to say what storyline she's going to be in or what she's going to be like. Is she going to be in the fucking ring? And you just no comment, and just the way he would answer, and just like I just don't understand why you would schedule another block of time with another human being just to just say no comment.
like, what? Yeah, at some point you were just like, okay, maybe I'll throw it to you. What is it that you want to talk about then? Because obviously you don't want to talk about anything I want to talk about. Just
Right. All he
you
wanted to
just
do was
throw me
plug.
out your interview questions and answer them.
All he wanted to do was plug AEW Dynamite and Rampage and ratings and like just dumb shit. And I think he answered a question with like by saying something about ratings, which was not the answer even remotely close to the question that was asked. So it's just I don't know. Like I'm not a big fan of Ariel Helwani. I think he's a little weasel. Um, but I kind of feel I kind of I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I could say that I've swayed my opinion on this whole thing, knowing that it was more than just about CM Punk and the Elite.
Right.
Now, there's I've changed my mind. I've let it go. But there there are a set of people who have not let this go. And that being the hardcore die hard AEW fans. They have come after Hawani, and
Which he did
he
say that would
is
happen. He said the AEW fans are going to come after me for this, um, and he mentioned that uh, how awkward and awful the interview was. He mentioned um, that he wouldn't answer anything, but then like he ended it by saying like WWE is by far the better product. Uh, Basically, AEW is a dumpster fire, and if anybody says differently, then they're full of shit. I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah.
yeah, full of shit. So
So he planted his stake in the ground
he's hitting
for
just as hard as they are. It seems.
yeah, and then yeah, he's giving it back. He went on Twitter a few days ago on Ram after Dynamite. He said, "Oh, Orange Cassidy, the new who just won the Atlantic title in AEW, which I don't even know why it exists, but that's here nor
Well,
there."
they got like 100 titles, don't they?
They don't specifically, but between them and ROH, and so there's like 100 titles on TV. Um, but
Yeah, that works so well for
Orange Cassidy,
WCW.
Orange Cassidy, he puts his title in the backpack and he comes out to the ring with it. So Helwani went to Twitter and he's like, "Oh look, Orange Cassidy is is coming to the ring with his title in his backpack. This is so much great better than WWE." So yeah, he's giving it right back to the fans, which is all around funny.
Yeah. Well, he knows how the game's played.
Yeah,
He'll be all right. He battled the UFC. He'll be all right. AEW fans are nothing.
they're just they're it's a what is it? A cult? No, cult's not the right word, but
They're a fan base.
there's a word for it. I can't get the word right now, but um, extremist is definitely definitely one of the words.
Right. Well, we're we're over our hour allotment.
Oh yeah, we
Anything you
sure
wanna
are.
anything you wanna end wrap up with?
No, I just want to say if you agree to anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, and you got anything?
Like, comment, share, and watch next week. Catch
That
the
too.
replay on Monday on YouTube.
Replay. We're gonna be on Monday. There's no replay. Oh,
Oh.
we've ruined it all. Anyway, good night.
Good night.